welcome to another Flosstube episode of Making It with Michelle. It is August 3rd. Clearly I'm prepared. It is August 3rd and I've been gone for a long time. Now, I did film a mid-year whip parade as my last episode, I suppose, but I have a lot to show you. I have a lot. You would think I'd have more to show you, but I do not. Because in the middle of all of this, I went on a big trip, and I'll talk a little bit about that at the end. I've been on a retreat. I had a really great friend of mine come visit. I've done Stitchy days. I've seen family. It's been a long time since I really caught up with you in a regular episode. So I have so many things spread all around me. You can probably see a few things on the edges. But I got finishes, fully finished objects. I have, of course, new starts. I have a few finishes to show you that I didn't talk about in my whip parade. I have a little bit of sewing and quilting. And like I said, I'll talk about my trip. So a few things let me talk about around me. First, let me talk about the quilt behind me. It is not bound, but this is, I have the book right here. This is Blueberry Pie by Fig Tree. Let me show the picture. So this is my version back here. It is semi-scrappy, semi-not scrappy. I did use some of the fabric line called Fruit Salad. In the blues mainly, except for the border, are from that fabric line. The yellow is from my stash. The greens are from my stash. It's like I said, so half scrappy, half unscrappy, I don't know. The backing is the blueberry print from the fabric, so it's really lovely. And my plan is to bind it with a navy blue stripe, but I really wanted to get it in while it's technically still summer, I suppose. The book, again, is called Fruit Salad by Fig Tree, Joanna Figueroa. And it has a ton of quilts in here. The blueberry one was my favorite. That was kind of my theme for the summer. Although there's not a ton of blueberry cross stitch patterns, but that's okay. So anyways, that's the quilt that's behind here today. Okay. The other thing that is we have a few quilted pillows that I've made over the years. This one is 100,000 years old. I'm going to put it in the back because it's kind of faded because I sleep on it when I'm on the couch. This is called Cozy Cottage or something like that. It was in a Lori Holt calendar of all things. And it is 100% scrappy. I just used whatever I had. And like I said, I'm keeping it way far back here because it's kind of dingy and dirty and well loved. I quilted it myself on my... Sorry, something's in my eye. On my domestic machine at the time, just with crosshatch quilting, and love that. Oh, let me talk about the quilting. Sorry, my mother quilted this, Geek Plus Quilting. If you're in the North DFW area, I'll link her Instagram down below. So if you would need a quilt quilted, and even if you're in Oklahoma, she can probably do a quilt for you. Or you could mail it to her. Either way. So, sorry. Thanks, Mom. Love you. Okay. So, that's a little quilting right there. I'm just like, I don't even know where to begin. Okay, next. Let me talk. I wanted to do this last time, and I totally forgot. So, we're going to have to talk about a few things here. So, this is my dough ball. I wanted to kind of show you and go through. My wonderful friend Lisa, Black Coffee and Grits, got me this for my birthday this last year, I believe, in May. Yeah, in May. So thank you, Lisa. And I looked at it and I thought, wow, I'll never be able to fill this up. Wait, maybe it was the year before. I don't know. Lisa, was this Christmas? Maybe it was Christmas. Because I've used it. I don't know. Lisa got me this sometime in the past. So, like I said, so here it all is together, and I'm going to go through each piece and talk about it. So, some are old, you've seen before, and some are new. So, first I'll talk about a start and a finish. So, this is, oh, I just looked it up, Strawberry Basket, I believe. by Threadwork Primitives. I did use all the called for colors, but I stitched it. It's stitched on like a bluish fabric. I gave away the pattern, long gone. I stitched it on Old Linen by XG Designs on 40 count. And I stitched this at a retreat that I went to, the Chatterbox retreat. I'll talk about that subsequently. This is the back. Isn't that cute? And then my new friend Melissa, look at those 3 little pins. I'm trying to cover up my face so you can see it. Are we gonna focus? No. There's those sweet little pins. And so I started this at the retreat and finished it. It was super fun. And that's so cute. Okay. This was a gift at the retreat from my friend Terri. I have no idea who made it, but it's really cute. This is a random strawberry. No idea where this came from. I know I'm really good. This is a strawberry that my friend Katie So Tattered made at the retreat I went to in May. Let me hold it by its sweet little tassel here. I don't know, I just threw a bunch of stuff in here. I know it's not very organized. This is from my friend Celeste. Celeste Creates. This is a strawberry she made last year at the Chatterbox retreat and gave to all of us, which was really kind. This is a watermelon slice that's dusty. Sorry, Lisa, that Elle Snaps made at our retreat in May. How cute is that? She's a little genius. This is also from the Chatterbox retreat last year. I can't remember who, maybe this was Trinka. Don't quote me on that, so sorry, whoever made this. This one was made at this year's Chatterbox retreat by Trish. I didn't know that. Trish, did you make that strawberry one? Question mark? Let's see, some old finishes. This is Strawberry something. Strawberry House by the Scarlet House? Strawberry something. I don't know. Katelyn, you're stitching this. What is this called? It's by the Scarlet House, excuse me. I stitched it last year around StitchCon. It's on 46 count, old something. If you want to know, let me know. But it's so teeny tiny. This was my Chatterbox Smalls retreat exchange gift last year from my friend Stephanie. She stitched this for our retreat. She's a little genius as well. I went to her house last week and she showed me all of her treasures. Oh my god, incredible. Okay, what else can I show you that's in here? Oh, this is stitched by my friend Lisa of Black Coffee and Grits. We did a little mini exchange at the retreat in May, and that's what she stitched for me. This is my one and only strawberry I've ever made. It was exclusive to the Stitch Niche. Sadly, that's now closed, and I took a finishing class. Me and Mom took it together, and it was really fun. Stitched it on some Ada. Looks like 14 count. And Jeannie, if you know Jeannie, she taught the class, and it's really sweet. This is Summer Swan by Brenda Gervais, Brenda G, my girl. I stitched this last summer, I believe, and I think it's on 40 count Athos with probably, oh, it's not with all the called for colors because the white was supposed to be something I can't remember, Arrowhead, and I used grits. My arrowhead was pink, so that wasn't happening. This is Summer Quaker by Primrose Cottage. I stitched this last summer after we went to Hawaii, and I did not use a called for or anything. This is a color in cotton, don't ask me what, and some 32 count. If you want to know, just, you can't ask me. Then I have the last thing in here, I guess. Yeah, is Home Sweet Home by Brenda Gervais. This was kind of this is a really special piece to me. This was when I started stitching over 2 on, this is a 32 count Lugana. I knew nothing, but this was my first Brenda Gervais piece and kind of led me to the stitch niche and a lot of great, now my stitching has taken off. So, and there's my dough bowl. Okay, some other things Also from the retreat, Stephanie, again the little genius, made us these cute little pin cushions. She gave everyone one of these. People, there's 24 people there. She made, and there's more because I saw them at her house. So she made like, I don't know, a bazillion. A bazillion! And these little pins came from my new friend Melissa. And it's just so sweet and I love it. This should look familiar because she also made one at Christmas. Again, a little genius. Now, this year at Chatterbox, I did have a small. It was kind of touch and go for a while. What I ended up doing was I had taken a piece, which is, you'll see the theme of this, and I kind of just finished it up, wrapped it up, called it good, and I made it into a needlebook. I probably don't even have a picture of it. Katie? If she shows it on a Flosstube, you can go look at it there. So, but this is what I got. Oh my god. This is a blackbird piece. I don't know what it's called, but my new bestie, Katelyn, made this, and it's fall, and I'm obsessed with it, and she finished it as this little drum. Oh, she's also a little genius, and it sits in this thing, and I just look at it. I look at it, and I just love it. So thank you, Katelyn. And there's this other cute little bird thing that she had with it, but that's in my sewing room, so I can look at it there. Okay. Other things. I have a bag. This, my sweet friend Brook made at the retreat. Well, gave it to us at the retreat, Chatterbox retreat. We got like this little, Joella, was this from you? I don't remember. But it's this little, you can't see because it's clear, duh. It's a little Chatterbox pull, and I put it on this bag. Okay, what's in here? Oh, random stuff. Again, I went to my friend Stephanie's house, and I guess, I don't remember, but she remembered. She had made one of these little pillows, and I said, where's mine? And then she made one for me. Oh, she's such a good friend. It uses this really cute My So Quilty Life fabric, and then there's these sweet little buttons. I don't know, but I'm obsessed with it. And I'm so glad I said that, and then she made me one. Because she's a good friend like that. Okay. Also in here, oh yeah, I was at her house, and she gave me this cute little zippered pull. This is not a zipper pull. If this is a zipper pull, you better have the sturdiest bag in the history of the world. This, my friends, is a tape measure. Tape measure. Oh my god. It looks like a little puppy. It reminds me of my puppies. So, I want to show you that. Okay, then some other things from the retreat was my friend Lisa L. Snaps made everybody one of these little, I almost said zipper pull again. Why am I obsessed with these zipper pulls? This is a key fob situation. Do you like how I'm modeling it for you? And it's purple, and she said she made some purple because when she sees purple, she thinks of me. Thank you, Lisa. I love it. I'm not using it, obviously, but I just like to look at it. Okay, and then my friend Katie, So Tattered, did a class where you learn how to make scissor fobs. And this is the one that I made two, but I gave one to Lisa L. Snap, or Lisa Black Coffee and Grits. And it's purple, duh, and then it has this little button at the bottom. It was really fun to make, and it was way easier than I anticipated. And so they're snipped on my new favorite scissors. I got some Dovos. They're going over here because that's where they normally live. So thank you, Brook. Thank you, all my friends. Thank you, Lynda. I sat at the best table in the history of the world, People of the Table 2025, and forever in the world. It was me, Brook, Krista, Lynda, Nancy, me, Brook, Krista, Lynda, Nancy, Terri, Stephanie, and Melissa. And I love them, and they hold a very special place in my heart because we just had the best weekend ever and laughed and laughed and laughed. It was good. Good time. Okay. And then you come home after a retreat, and I'm like, where are my buddies to stitch with? Okay. What shall we talk about next? I guess FFOs. Okay, so I met up with Lisa, who knows when, Black Coffee and Grits, and she helped me frame a couple things. Now, two of them are still at her house, well, back at her house, because I didn't do the best frame job. So, she's going to fix them, and I'll show them on another video. maybe I have a picture, but I'll just show them later. But this is the one I do have. This is, oh Lord, Laurel, what's this called? I saw it on your video yesterday. This is Autumn something, Penny Autumn. All right, my brain turned on. By Plum Street, of course. I'm obsessed. This is my Plum Street year. And I got a frame from the Peanut Gallery, and I love it. Thank you, Lisa, for your help. I did not stitch the border, but if you go watch Laurel, I'm a Stitch Nerd, and like behind her, like right here, you'll see hers done. And it's a pillow, and it's so cute. But mine's framed, and I'm gonna hang it up one day. It doesn't have anything on the back, but I'll get there. Isn't that cute? I love it. Okay. Now I'm just throwing stuff around willy-nilly. Okay, now that was my very unprofessional frame job. And let's look at some professional frame jobs. So before I went to the Chatterbox retreat, and it was over July 4th weekend, I had taken a piece over that I had thought about trying not to get professionally framed, but it's so huge that I was like, I'm just gonna give it to them and they'll do a beautiful job. So this ginormo is Autumn Love, and this was framed at the Peanut Gallery. They did a custom frame job. I don't do glass. It's cheaper and it makes them heavier. I can hold this up all day. But we did like this. I don't know how well you can see it in this picture. It's like a brownie gray. And we had like an inch of the fabric showing. I don't know. I just think it looks amazing. I haven't found a place to hang it yet, but I have some ideas. And so when I do, I'll maybe post a picture on Instagram. Maybe. I love it. They did an amazing job. It cost an arm and a leg, but it was worth it. And then on Friday, me and Lisa went back because when I went there over the retreat, I dropped off a piece, and I dropped off Spring Moon, and I got it back. So this was my homework, quote unquote, from Aaron Bird to finish this, and so I did finish it probably about a week or so later. And so I did finish it, and I love it. This is my purple conversion and other random color conversion. I love it so much. This is stitched on 40 count Ariel by Picture This Plus. If you want to know some purples, let me know. I didn't use the greens either. I changed the color of the bee skep. It was supposed to be two colors that I didn't use at all. I guess I thought they were used somewhere else. That's why I'm looking at this thing. Who knows? But I love it. I'm obsessed with it. It's hanging on my wall already. And I like a simple frame for the most part. I like classic frames, not real intricate, ornate. So, I love it. Maybe I'll just set it up where I can see it during the video. This was lovingly inspired by Katelyn of my friend A Stitch for Mom, because she stitched hers and I watched her the whole time and I became obsessed. And then I stitched it and obsessively stitched it. Okay, so let me look. I think that's all of the finishes that I have to show you, because I showed you Strawberry Basket by Threadwork Primitives, and you should all go stitch that chart. It was really fun and really easy, and I loved it. Yeah, like I said, I don't have the chart anymore, sorry. I gave it to a friend. Okay, let's talk about some finishes. Some stitchy finishes. So I got on this weird tangent in June. And if you did watch my whip parade, you might notice that there are some things missing. And that's because I was over it. Well, first I was like, oh, let me do Christmas in July. And then I couldn't wait for July. So I did Christmas in June. And I did one day of Christmas in July stitching in July. One day. And I'll show you that when I get there. So I don't know, I just like lifted my whips, and I think once you get a finish, you want 5 finishes. And I think that was a part of it. So like I had finished Spring Moon, and then I was like, what else can I finish? And I looked at all my Christmas stuff, and there was some stuff that I was really close on. And so I was like, why am I not done with this? One piece was I had like a miscount, and so I just like, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. So let's just talk about it here. Let me get my board. I'll do some clipping. Hopefully I'll be a speedy clipper, and if I'm not, so sorry. Okay, so here's my little pile. So the first one I'm gonna show you is Hometown Holiday Sampler. And I've had a whole conversation with you guys about this in the past, but here's my finish. You might be thinking to yourself, wow, Michelle, that looks way different than the picture. Don't have the picture because I gave away the chart. Let me get you in close. This is stitched on 40 count something. Don't know. With the called for colors, except that the letters were red and I used the navy blue in the pattern. And so what happened was I had started and I had stitched the A and the B because that's the start of the freaking alphabet. Luckily, that's also the initials of my dear husband. And so when my brain activated and I was never ever going to stitch the rest of these letters, I thought, why don't I do A, B, M, W? And then I'll stitch the one row that I like, which is of course the one with the house, then I'll be done. And I think originally I had talked about, there's like a line of like holly berries with the little leaves in between a lot of the rows. And I was like, oh, I'll do that too. And then I was talking to my friend Lisa and she was like, why? I was like, good point. Less stitching. I'll get this done. So I did. I don't know what the heck I'm going to do with it, but maybe I'll put it on a project bag. I don't know, but it's done. Lori Holt is like an enigma to me. She's a freaking genius, and I want to do everything. Even letters. But then I buy it, and then I do it, and I'm like, why did I do this? She's an enigma to me. I don't know. She's a genius. Okay, next. This is, I believe, on 36 count. 36 count something. Maybe Affogato. This is Early Christmas Morning by Blackbird. And it's done! This was the one that I had a miscount, and I had figured it out, and I'm sure I got mad, and I said, poof, put it away. And this is all I'm doing. This is supposed to be a drum. I don't know if this is going to become a drum for Michelle Bird, but I used all the called for colors except for one they like didn't have, and so I subbed something. It's not important. I also did not put the 2020 whatever down here. My friends that I was with at the time said, you don't need that. And I said, less stitching. So I love it. I really do. And I'm glad that I stitched it. I don't know. Me and Blackbird have like a love-hate situation. I already talked about this in the whip parade. But I love it. And to me, it's not screaming Christmas. Oh, and those little berries are supposed to be Smyrna crosses. And I said, oh, heck no. But it was fun. And there was no way I was stitching Merry Christmas 3 times or 2 times or whatever. But I'm glad I got the top done. Maybe I'll turn into a tart or something. Who knows? Who knows? All right, next. Again on the train of, I haven't touched something in thousands of years. And it needs to get off my whip list. What can I do? So here's another one. This is January Mini Village by Little House Needleworks, Country Cottage Needleworks, one of those two. This is on 40 count biscuit. Sorry, my lighting's kind of weird. It's kind of later in the day than I normally film. But if you'll see, it looks nothing like the mini village that you may know what that looks like. And I'd be like, you are correct. I don't know what it was. Maybe it's that there's 37 color changes in a house. I already had stitched the word January. If I ever say I'm going to do a monthly something, just slap it out of my hand because that is not true. It's like me and blocks of the month. I'm not good at those. Brook, don't look at me. So what I did was I took out the word January, and I hadn't done the trees. I don't know. I hadn't finished some of the other little bits and bobs. So I finished the little bits and bobs, and now it's done. And I think I'm going to make this into a cute little pillow to put out at winter time. And it's done. That's my favorite part. Yep, and it was staying on this big old piece of fabric. Didn't cut a lick off of it. Still a part of this giant old piece of fabric. Because, I don't know. Okay, next. My last finish. And my last Christmas in July finish. This is Up on the Housetop by Teresa Kogut. Look at that. How cute is that? This is with all the called for colors. There was one fancy floss, but I just used a DMC sub. There was the words Up on the Housetop underneath it, and that got nixed. But I love it. This is on 40 count. I don't know what it's called. If you want to know, let me know in the comments. But I got this at, what's that thing called? Jingle Ball? Almost said Jingle Bells. Jingle Ball. Last year, the year before, Mom, question mark, when did we start this? So, I love it, and I'm glad it's done. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. They had finished it on one of those Chantel 141 boards, but I don't know if I'm going to do that. Because I like that curve situation, I don't know. I might end up taking it to the peanut gallery and seeing if they think a mat would be a good idea, or if no one cares and it's just me that cares and it'll be fine in just a square frame. I don't know. So, it's so cute. So that was my Christmas in June stitching. Okay, now we're on to everything else. I'm looking around. I'm going to take a quick drink. Yeah, so I had one finish in July, which was kind of sad. But again, I was out of the country for 2 weeks, so I'm giving myself a pass, kind of. Okay, so let's talk about all my whips and starts and good things here. All right. I have it all organized-ish, except I didn't take anything out of the pattern bag, so excuse me for a brief moment. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay. So the first thing that's here in the world of Michelle is the Floral Motif Sampler by the Scarlet House. It's ginormo. Did I need another ginormo project? No. Did my friend say, hey Michelle, we're stitching this, you should join us? I said, yeah, of course. Let me go order it off 123 Stitch. Literally, that's what I did. Okay, so in true Michelle form, that has like 38 reds in it, and I'm not a red gal, but I am a purple gal. So I did do my own color conversion. I'll jauntily hold it up for you, as if it will tell you anything, but I will hold it up because, you know, why not? And I started this last Wednesday with Katie So Tattered, Lisa L Snaps, and Carolyn, my new friend Carolyn, who stitched my little small. Okay, look at this. I'm gonna hook it on this little clip. All right, so let's talk some deets. So this is my little tiny start, but I did add a couple extra motifs. There's my floss. This is 40 count Kenneth by Grace Notes Fabrics, I believe. And look at all those purples. I love them. So I started in the top right. I thought this was hilarious. Excuse me. That's the top left. I started in the top left. Katie started in the top right. Lisa started in bottom left. And so I was texting. I don't have Carolyn's phone number, but I told Lisa, I said, I hope Carolyn started bottom right. Just kidding, Carolyn. Start wherever the heck you want. So there's my stitching. I did that big kind of sunflowery motif, and then actually this morning I did those two little babies and worked on the border a little bit. So I think it looks great. I just brightened it up and of course added 37 purples. I don't have any new project bags to show you. They're all the old classics. Okay, next. Next is kind of a surprise. All right, Actually, let me put all my projects over here so that maybe you might be somewhat surprised when you look at them instead of gazing at them on the side of my couch. Okay, let me get the pattern cover. Pick that little thread off because that was needed right this moment. Okay, people. This is Saltbox Quilt Sampler by my gal, Brenda G. I started this last year after StitchCon. Mom and I had gone to StitchCon. We had traveled around. We went to Indianapolis to see Carrie. Hi Carrie, if you're watching this. And we went to Crimson Tate, a really great quilt store. We went to St. Louis to go to Color and Cotton. Then we went to Tulsa to go to Silver Needle. And then we went home. So at Color and Cotton, Mom and I did a, what's it called? Color conversion. And this is where I'm at, y'all. This looks significantly different from the last time I have shown this because I have done a fair amount of work. I finished the top letters over here. I put this house in. I put this house in. I put these little trees and bits and bobs. And then this, I put in that little doodad. And then I actually did this morning. So I've done a lot. And I'm pretty happy with it so far. The only thing, I only have one little gripe, and that's a Michelle Burt conversion situation, not a Brenda G amazing pattern conversion. So, the purple is Patchwork by Color and Cotton. The fabric is 40 count something. Most of the time in their store, well, the one time I've been there, like I've been there 5 million times, but what I had noticed is that a lot of them are one of a kind, and so they don't really have names, so I have no idea if this has a name or not. But that's where I'm at. And I'm really happy with it. And I pulled this out because me and my friend Lisa are doing a little road trip this coming weekend to go to Color and Cotton. And we're meeting a very special friend of mine, and I'm so excited and can't wait. Okay, so now to segue. We have to segue into where I was gone for 2 weeks. I went to Japan. And I went to Japan with some wonderful people. And we had a great time. This is a trip that I wanted to go on for a long time. So I did not get much stitching done in Japan. Number one, because we literally ran around like chickens with our heads cut off. We went to 4 different cities, but we had to travel back to Tokyo. And so then we stopped at Osaka and came back to Tokyo. So in the end, we ended up going to 6 cities. And I got, what am I telling people? I averaged like 16,000 steps the first week, and then the second week we averaged like 14,000 steps. So we were hustling. Got blisters on the blisters. But it was a great trip. So anyway, so on the trip is like zilch stitching. Because we're super busy, and then the trains, like when we would take a train from one city to the next, it would lull me to sleep. And so because I was like, I'm going to be a train stitcher, y'all. Incorrect. So anywho, so we get back from the trip, and I'm like, 40 count, I'm like squinting, like can barely see anything. So I had to pull out a couple 36 count projects. And of course Lisa's over here on my shoulder saying, Michelle, what about that 32 witch that you're not happy with right now? I know, deleted that. So anyways, one of the 36 count projects I pulled out was this Hello Autumn by Teresa Kogut. And I worked on this a little bit. It's on a 36 count Color and Cotton. And I think it's hay bale or golden rod, something or other. If you want to know, just ask. But this is where I'm at. So I didn't get a ton on there, but I did work on it, and I'm really happy about that. Again, I was super jet lagged the whole last week, so literally an hour of stitching, I was like dead to the world after that. So what did I do? I added this little moth right here. I kind of completed this flower. If you won't know it, but this is the start of the words, Hello Autumn. And then I kind of finished up a little bit of the border I had to do. And I briefly worked on the basket. The basket is like kind of confusing, and I had to concentrate and like not mess it up. So I didn't get much done on that. So I figured I'd show it. Probably 300 stitches in here if that. Let's be clear, probably like 200 stitches. But I worked on it, so thought you wanted to know about it. Just not put that anywhere in its bag. Okay, and then here's my Christmas and July stitching, LOL. So the other 36 count project, because I pulled out 2, because I think I only have 2, but should you quote me on that? No. Alright, so the other 36 count project that I pulled out is Mistletoe Manor by Pansy Patch, Quilts and Stitchery, and Blueberry Ridge Designs, 2 of my favorites. I'm using the kit. I got the kit. So it's on 36 count Kentucky Rye by somebody. And the thread is Valdani. So I had worked on this last year at Chatterbox, and really that was my intentions. I think I brought it. I was kind of a disaster at Chatterbox in terms of stitching. But anywho, so this is where I'm at now. Let's get that. It's like an orangey, browny, pinky color. Isn't that real clear? So I filled in, because I needed to do fill, because I could not do counting at the time. Because this was what I did literally the day after we got back. So I filled in this roof, and I think it looks really cool, and I filled in this tree, and that might have been it. I think I had thought about counting to start like another tree, because there's 3 little trees over here. As you can see, didn't happen. But it's a lovely stitch, and hopefully I'll work on it at Christmas. There's nothing wrong with this. There's no good reason that I don't want to stitch on it. It's just there's other things I just want to stitch on more when it comes to Christmas for whatever reason. But I'm glad I worked on it and got it out this year. Okay, next. So, after I got back from the Chatterbox retreat, I was texting up my BFF, Alex of Salix Stitches, and she was like, oh, when'd you get back? And then I told her when. I don't even remember when. But I left kind of earlier than I normally planned to, because there was a storm blowing through, and I was trying to miss the storm. And she was like, oh, I had a Zoom, and we all looked at Blueberry Ridge design patterns, and so we all started one, and I was like, what? I want to start one. So I started one that I had already kitted up. So this is House on Pomegranate Hill. I got this kitted up at 1, 2, 3 stitch. I just couldn't resist. I love Blueberry Ridge design. She's probably one of my favorite. She's definitely one of my favorite, probably top 5 pattern designers. I have stitched 1, 2, 3, and I'm working on 2 more of her patterns. At least 3. I've finished. Anywho, so I'm stitching this on, this calls for 36 count. I'm doing 40 count Oaken by Picture This Plus, and I'm using all the called for colors. So it's gonna be teeny weeny. I've done House on Blueberry Hill and House on Strawberry Hill, and now I'm doing House on Pomegranate Hill. And it's really fun. I love it. I kind of forgot this existed. And then I was going back through my book, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that thing. So, glad I stopped forgetting about it. And now I want to pull this out and work on it. I might wait until it gets, to me it's very wintry, like Christmassy. And so I might put it in hibernation until it gets back. But she was starting all the things, or the group, the crew was starting them. And so I was like, I want to start one, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, next. This is a bag my friend Brook made. Thanks, Brook. This is a little crochet flower somebody made, maybe Lenny or Roberta, or somebody else, sorry, if that's neither of you. And I got this at the May retreat, and I just clipped it on there. Okay. This is Cotton Bird by Plum Street. I actually pulled this out this morning and worked on it. This is on my to-do list to finish, just because to me it's very summer, and I want to finish my summer stitching before I ignore all other items in my life and only stitch fall for the next 3 months. So I'm enjoying my summer stitching. I'm trying to cling to that and not just dive right into fall and never think of anything else ever again. So So this is where I'm at. This is stitching. I'm stitching this on 40 count Agua Fresca by Grace Notes Fabrics. I'm doing a color conversion, so the white is grits. So I was trying to get all the cotton ball things done on the left side there before I showed the video, but I didn't. So that's that. And I love it. And I really want to finish it. And I love this fabric. Isn't that lovely? I love stitching on blue. If you never stitched on blue fabric, I'm gonna be your enabler. Buy a piece of blue fabric and stitch something on it. Even if it shows that it's on tan. Look at this. This is tan. Mine is gonna look nothing like that, but it's still gonna look great. Spring Moon, stitching on blue. Stitched on blue. Up on the Housetop, stitched on blue. I love blue. That Agua Fresca is a really good one. Here I am, spokeswoman for blue, stitching on blue fabric. Okay, next. I brought 2 projects to Japan, and this was one of them. Didn't stitch a lick on it, but I did stitch on it before Japan. This is A Fine House Indeed by Lottie Da. It's nice and crinkled now. Sorry. My sister got me the silks for my birthday, birthday. And I thought this would be a good fill-in project, so I worked on an area so that way I could fill it in. So I've done a little bit of work on this since you last saw it. So this is 40 count something by Lakeside. I don't have the brain capacity to know what it's called today. But I worked on that roof a lot, and I did a lot on the house itself. I don't know. I love it. I'm really enjoying it. This is kind of like an everyday stitch, and I'm glad that I've been working on a few of these. I'm like super seasonal. Like, I love fall, and I love Christmas, and I want to stitch Valentine's Day and everything like that. And so it's nice to have some things that don't fall into a season. I don't know. But really, who cares? So, but it's fun, and I'm enjoying the silks and the fill-in and that big old house. Okay, next. Okay, I kind of like strategically organized these because if you did watch my whip parade, I'm sorry you're gonna see some repeats. But maybe some of it will be a little bit new. Like this one, I think, because I looked in my book to see when the last time I talked about some of this, and some of them I have not worked on since the whip parade, but some of them I have. And I want to show this one because I watched my friend Jem's video, and she worked on hers. So this is Put a Bird on It by Modern Folk Embroidery. I'm doing a Belle Soie conversion with purples. Hard to believe, I know. Are you getting the vibe here that purple is my color? Anywho. So I'm stitching this on a 40 count color and cotton something. It's like green tea, white tea. If you want to know, just ask. But I finished that big old purple girl in the middle. I don't know if I was done the last time I showed it, but I'm done now. And I even did a little bit extra. That K and that one little star. But I'm really glad to be done with that big old giant motif. The rest of it seems like it'll be like, shoo, fly by. I'm really hoping I can finish this by the end of the year. I have 3, really 4, ginormo Quaker projects, including this one. And so I'd really like to get one done this year. Because I have this one, I have Modern Folk Embroidery, I can't remember what it's called, Purple on Purple. I have Quaker House by Kathy Barrick, which I am considering a Quaker because it has like Quaker motifs around the whole thing. And then I have M. Satterthwaite by Ken Stitcher. And so of all the ones, this one I'm definitely the closest on a finish for. And so I'd really like to get this done. I'm like looking at it and I'm like, maybe I'll work on it today. Sadly, my stitching is going to significantly slow down because sadly, Michelle Bird's got to go back to work. Okay, next is my other Blueberry Ridge Designs project, which you have seen. This is Sampler Seasons Summer. And I'm really trying to get, this is the other one I'd really like to get done soon. My two goals really are Cotton Bird and Summer Seasons. Because I don't see myself working on this outside of summer much. Maybe Cotton Bird a little bit, but this one really, I just want to get it done. Here I'm at. So the little stitching I did do in Japan was on this. So I did finish the strawberries on that border. And about threw up because the train and motion sickness, but I didn't. And so then I wanted to work on something different, so I finished this motif up here and did that little guy. So me and Lisa talked about all the projects we're gonna bring, and I don't know if this is on the list, but this should probably be the only project that I bring next weekend. So that way I make a project on it, make good progress on it. But I think we talked about like 5 projects I'm gonna bring. I know there's something wrong with me. Okay. Now this one, again, Whip Parade, so I'll be quick. This is I Love More Strong. I'm trying to get this one done too this year. Well, this year. Because I'm just like over it. Me and Blackbird, love and hate. So I think my plan is, and I talked about this in the Whip Parade, is I'm gonna go to the bottom of this house and then call it good. So I'm stitching this on 40 count straw flower, vintage straw flower by Lakeside, straw something. And like I said, I don't think I worked on it since the Whip Parade, but this is where I'm at. So I have made it to the house. I have finished the alphabet. I finished, I think, the majority of that big strawberry basket there. There's something on the base I have to finish, but this is where I'm at. So pretty good progress. One day I'll finish it. And I did work a lot on the border. I do remember that. It's beautiful. And I'll be very happy to stare at it on my wall. But, I don't know. It's just not calling to me. And I don't want it to linger on the whips list. Okay, and I think the last thing I have to show you is All Is Calm by Proper Stitcher. And I think my original goal was like, I want to finish this by Chatterbox. Because that's where I got the pattern. As you can only imagine, that didn't happen. But I did make progress on it. And I'm glad for that. So this is on 40 count Buttermilk or something by Color and Cotton. So I did finish all that top border, so I'm glad for that. And I did start to work on the house. So I made a counting error, and so I have to be careful about what I count off of. Like, I think I counted wrong. Something's wrong with this, like it's one not down far enough, and so I had to kind of fudge a couple things. There are some snowflakes on there. It's hard to see because my fabric's so light, but I can see it, and so I'm happy. So, I love it. Can we do Christmas in August? No, I gotta finish those summer things. Okie dokie, friends. That's all the stitching I have. Now, I do have some other things I'd like to talk to you about. So, first let's talk about Color and Cotton Extravaganza. I picked out some things that I'd like to kit up. These are like the selection. I'm not going to kit up every single one, but these are kind of the choices. So, the first one is Mr. Farrar's Confession. I love that. Love the Quaker. Love the house. Love the swans, of course. I'm calling them swans. So, and there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colors, so I thought it'd be pretty easy. I put the 2 pinks and the pink and the red in the back. I like the pink, but the red is blech. It's just blah. I don't know. It's very prim, and that to me seems very vibrant on the cover. And so I'm gonna spice it up. So that's one. The next is another Sampler Seasons Autumn. I had started this last year maybe, but it's on a 36 count, and I'm like, bleh. And I don't know, I kept it in here, but I already put I kept the silk in there. So, I think in my mind I was like, oh, because I stitched the first one with Gloriana, and I was like, I need to stitch all of these with silk. And now I'm like, who cares? So, I'm bringing this with to see if I get inspired. I really like that golden fabric. I had done a kind of a darker fabric, which I love the fabric. It's like sand or something by Stitch Me, but I don't know. I'm just not feeling it. The next one I really want to kit up is Babushka's Blossoms by Plum Street. You'll see a theme here. I'd also like to potentially kit up Goody Grimwood by Plum Street. Katelyn is Stitch for Mom. Everything that she stitches, I'm like, I think I need to do that too. So this is right on the, this is a Halloween project if I ever saw one. And I don't know, I love those houses, all that fill-in gets me jazzed. I love the pumpkins, I love the flowers. The lady riding the bird, I'm not 100% sold on, but I love everything else. I had gotten Hello Fall by Plum Street. I bought a model when the stitching was closed, so I obviously need to stitch Goodbye Fall. Oh yeah, there's a turkey. And that big fat cardinal, look at that. That's hilarious. So, this is another potential. And I feel like if I buy, like if I kit up a bigger one, like Babushka's Blossoms, I could use every single color in this one. You know what I mean? And then, I do have a Brenda G, Where the Bittersweet Blooms. This has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 colors in it. There's 10 colors in that. Can't you tell? So I'm probably going to simplify it a bit. But it's really cute. And I love it. And I do want to stitch it. That Quaker, the pumpkin, the bird. I mean, I'm not really here for the letters and the numbers, but everything else is really cute. So those are kind of what I'm thinking. Obviously, there's a brief theme of autumn. And so I'm trying not to get like sucked into the stitching of autumn yet because like I said, I'm trying really hard to finish. If I could finish those last 2 summary projects, I'd be ecstatic. The summer samplers and Cotton Bird. I definitely can finish one of them. I'm just like thinking about what I can get done before the semester starts because once the semester starts, like all bets are off on anything. But I'm also, okay, so the other major thing that happened, a brief little live insert here, is I had completed and defended my dissertation proposal for the degree that I've been working on for what feels like 100,000 years. Not really, but I think I'm on year 4. And so that was a big thing, big to do. And I got that done early July. I think I finished it. Yeah, I checked it off before I went to Chatterbox. So that was like a huge weight off my shoulders. So that's the other thing that I'm trying to finish this fall semester is my degree. So I am going to film a video for my 1-year Flosstube anniversary because that's in the fall. But I don't know much else. It was a struggle to even get this video together today, I felt. But I wanted to film. I'm sorry. Okay, let me also say a little disclaimer. I've gotten a lot of gifts at retreats, and friends have given me things, and number 1, I love all of them, 100%. So thank you. But when I get something, and I never talk about haul because I get haul and I put it up. I cannot leave it out. I have a very small sewing room, and once that, like, my cutting table gets filled, I literally can't do anything. So I have to put it all away. But I love it all, I pinky promise. Okay. Shall we talk about a brief little bit of haul, actually? So, one thing. I was at Chatterbox, and I was sitting, I had scooched my chair over to Katie's table, and she was stitched on this beautiful fabric, and I was like, what the heck is that called? And she said, it's called Xena by Tropical Stitches, and I was like, well, I want some of that, and I love Tropical Stitches already. Athos was one of my favorite colors. I've stitched a couple other things, so, but it wasn't on her website, and so Katie was like, well, just message her, and she'll do it for you. I couldn't believe it. She's the nicest human, so thoughtful, and this is my fat half because apparently I needed a fat half of Xena. It reminds me of Milk Chocolate by Fabrics by Stephanie, but oh, I can't wait to stitch something on this. Oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful. So if there's a color that you want by Tropical Stitches and it's not like readily available, just do that little chat feature and throw in some smiley faces, and she will dye it for you. So thank you. I love it. I just pet it sometimes. I can't wait to stitch something on it. Maybe one of these. Anyways, now I'm getting carried away. Okay, then yesterday, my friend Candy that I met at the Best Little Treat Center, she has a Flosstube with her friend Terri, Stitchy Talk with Candy and Terri, and I'll link it below. She finally opened her shop, and so Lisa and I and my sister Jessica drove all the way to Timbuktu, aka Plano, and did a bit of shopping. So I'm going to show a little bit of my haul from that. So first is this bag. This is a Lori Holt bag, and that's so cute. This was $12. $12, people. You can see the price right there. So it is ginormous. Look at that. So, and of course I love autumn, so I had to get it. Okay. This is, they had Picture This Plus and, what's the other one? Fiber on a Whim. So I got a piece of 40 count fawn by Picture This Plus. And you might be thinking, oh, Michelle, what if you take it out of the bag? First of all, you have to fold it up perfectly to stuff it in there. And what if you take it out of the bag? Then you'll forget what color it is. Well, they got both, people. They got the tag and the bag. Genius. Genius. Hoops and needles, people. Hoops and needles. I probably didn't even say the name because I'm good like that. So that's the only piece of fabric I got. But I did kit up another Blueberry Ridge designs. I wanted all of the Blueberry Ridge, but I had to restrain myself. So I bought this pattern, which I love squirrels, obsessed with them. I think this is the cutest little thing. It'll stitch up really fast. I got all the called for colors, except for one. She didn't have one of them, and I just subbed a different color. And is that all that's in here? And I'm going to stitch this on, I just put this all together. I'm going to stitch this on 40 count pewter by Picture This Plus. And it'll be lovely. It's probably not going to live in this bag forever, but it's living in there right now. So, Candy, I love your store. It was so good to see you yesterday. Bought some fabric too. And so it's cross stitch and quilting. So my sister is only a quilter, and so we kind of drug her along, and she bought like 5 things because they also had quilting. And she's going to be a Bernina dealer. Candy is like a little crazy person, but she's doing good stuff. Okay, then the last thing I have to talk about is a little bit of quilting-ish, besides blueberry pie or whatever this is called. So my most wonderful friend came over pretty much after Chatterbox, I guess. Yeah, it was like the next week. Her name's Allie. She is my most best friend from graduate school. We survived a master's degree in mathematics together, so of course we're very tight. And I was quilting while I was there, and she started quilting too. And she met her husband there, and he's a good friend of mine too, Elric. So anyways, but she lives in Arizona, so sadly she lives far, far away. But we tried to visit each other, and like we met up at QuiltCon one year. Anyway, she's just amazing. So we decided we're gonna make some bags together. So let me get my little items here. So these are the 2 bags we made. So first one, both noodlehead patterns. We both love noodlehead patterns. It's called the Oxbow Tote, and there's 2 sizes. I made the smaller size. So this is my bag. I made it with Ruby Star Society fabric. I think this is Lucky. I don't know. Don't ask. Or ask and I'll figure it out. I bought it at Downtown Dry Goods in McKinney. This strapping is a starry strapping. This is a starry print right here. I'm not sure what the inside fabric is called. You only supposed to put the pocket on one side, but I put it on both because that made sense to me. And then the inside is this cute little teal color with flowers on it. It wasn't really that bad. I don't know. Allie, I had to read it 5 times, and Allie had to figure hers out first. But I would make it again. Once you make it once, it was pretty easy to figure out. So this is a small size. It would definitely fit like a laptop. I've put stuff in here to take to like a Stitchy day if I just have like one project. And so there's this handle and then this handle to put on your shoulder. And it's a great bag. Really great bag. So that's the first bag. Then we made, here's the other one. It's called the Plover Pouch, also by Noodlehead. So, funny story. This was not on the agenda. The other one was. And then we go looking for hardware, and we go to this place in, I think it's Colleyville technically, Must Love Fabrics, and they had this pattern. And I was like, well, that's really cute. And so then we got stuff to make this. So I only have one with me, because the other's living at Lisa's house currently. So this is the first one I made. It's tulip pinkish. Isn't that cute? This is like a little pocket. This is not also a part of the pattern. I could not figure out the fabric placement for whatever reason based off the words in the pattern. And so anyway, so I put that. I wanted this to be the outside, this little box here, but this was the outside. I don't know. And then I just put like a purple. It's a print, but you can't really see it. It's fully lined. Really nice pouch. And you're supposed to get, this is why it's at Lisa's house, you're supposed to get buttons or snaps and put these like down, but I don't have buttons or snaps. And so the other one I made, Lisa's sewn on the buttons for me. Thank you, Lisa. She's my good friend. So, Plover Pouch, isn't that cute? And then the last sewing thing is this little basket. So my friend Lisa, L Snaps, showed me how to make one of these, and I want to make 50,000. She even gave me the fabric because she's a sweetie like that. And it's really cute. Good for orts if you, I guess, have a lot of orts. Or just like storing little things. I don't know, mine's empty and just living its best life. But yeah, so anywho. So, hard to believe. That is it. Thank you to all my subscribers. I'm sorry it's been a while since there's been a video. Thank you to, if you're new, welcome. I probably should have said that like an hour and a half ago. Just thank you to whoever has even watched 5 seconds of this video. I'm always surprised when anyone other than my mother watches these videos, and I have made so many wonderful friends because of Flosstube, and so I'm very thankful for it. So anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you, if you have any questions, leave a comment. I don't think Aaron Bird's gonna be here for this video, but I'll make sure he's back for the next one. So anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day. Happy stitching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.